Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. And if you will, help me give another round of applause and thank you to the wonderful members of the Indianapolis Children's Choir who have blessed us today. You know, we are here to celebrate a 100-year journey, but when I listen to the children, I am confident that good things lie ahead in the next 100 years. Don't you think? Yes, very much so. We all have work to do, but we can see that the Army, to help us put our shoulder to the wheel, is coming along. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jackie Needis, and I'm the CEO for your public library here in Indianapolis, and I have the great honor to welcome you to our 100th birthday party. It's a joy to get to the 100th milestone, and we have been celebrating in lots of different ways over the last couple of weeks, culminated here today in what we expect to be a very joyous time. There are some folks in the audience I want to especially acknowledge. This is always a dangerous thing to do, but I will begin, of course, by welcoming our mayor with us here today, Mayor Joe Hochstedt. Thank you. Thank you. And while the mayor is running our city, it is our library board that makes sure that your wishes for your public library are in fact carried out. And there are a number of members of the library board here today. Could I ask them to stand, please, and be acknowledged? Dr. Wantz, Dr. Pat Payne, Dr. Terry Jett, and I saw Dorothy Crenshaw. Where's Ms. Crenshaw? Back here, okay. I know we have at least one former library board member with us here. Robert Bonner, I know you're in the room, up there, okay. Thank you so much. Now this is where I'm dangerous because these are my bosses, and if I've missed one, I'm in trouble. There's another group in the room that I absolutely want to salute, and that is the many of you in this room who at some point in your career, work life, history, actually worked here at Central Library. Can you all raise your hands? There's a lot of you here. There's a lot of you here. Lots of stories to be told by our retirees, a long time ago retirees who are back and recent retirees who we're not letting go of yet. So we want to keep celebrating. The choir used the word freedom in their songs, and we know we have a lot of work to do to get that freedom thing right yet in our country. But in this library, I believe we do some of the most important work about freedom. And every morning at 10 o'clock, there is a group of people out on the steps waiting to get in here. We call them sort of our regular readers. And they remind me every day of what a democratic institution the public library can be for its community. They are here to get access to things that many of us take for granted. I check my email when I wake up in the morning, and many of them have to wait until we open that front door before they can do the same thing. But they come, as you all come, seeking information, seeking a window on something else in the world that we've got to understand or we've got to connect to. And that's a role that I hope we will continue to do for another 100 years. At this time, I'd like to turn the podium over to Mr. Michael Williams. Mike is the manager of Central Library. He's had a long work career in and out of this building, and he will be our MC for today. Mike?
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome each and every one of you to Central Library. This literally is a celebration day, 100 years in the making, and I am thrilled that you are all here with us today. Thank you. I also have some thanks I need to convey to a couple other folks who made this day possible. The centennial celebration itself has been made possible by Buckingham Companies and the Friends of the Library through their generous gifts to the Indianapolis Public Library Foundation. Let's give them a round of applause. And because even a lovely historic building like this always has new things in it, we are in the room that now holds new books, new materials, and a wonderful new exhibit about the history of Central Library and the Indianapolis Public Library getting to Central Library. If you'll direct your attention to the balcony around the Cray building, we have a wonderful new Central History exhibit, and that is made possible by the generous donations of a gift from Kat Sapper and Miller. So I hope throughout the day you'll take a look at that and enjoy. Now, a moment that is also 100 years in the making, with our friends from the Philharmonic Orchestra of Indianapolis, a lovely quintet, and the voices of the Indianapolis Children's Choir, we will once again sing something that was written by the Hoosier poet, James Whitcomb Riley, who many of you walked past the Riley gates on your way in today. He composed the words. The music is by John Philip Sousa, and it is called The Messiah of Nations. Thank you. Thank you, Indianapolis Quintet. We have another song from our quintet, I believe. Nope. Okay. Then it is my privilege to welcome to the microphone the mayor of Indianapolis. No, I'm sorry, Councilor Vop Osili. Councilor Osili, are you here? I haven't seen you. Councilor? Mr. Mayor, I think you're going to have to do two jobs today. I know you're up to it.
Well, thank you. Happy birthday. 100 years in the making. Such a wonderful centennial celebration. I want to echo what Jackie has already said. How can one not be inspired? How can one's spirit not be uplifted when you listen to the wonderful voices of the Indianapolis Children's Choir? And indeed, the future of our city is bright. So today I just have a formal honor and responsibility of doing what mayors are afforded the opportunity to do, and that is issue proclamations. Now, proclamations are important documents because they record the important history. They echo and make evident and affirm and acknowledge that which has transpired or is transpiring and will continue to transpire. They make evidence of what is good and right and decent for all residents of our community. And so it is today that as mayor of Indianapolis, I am very proud to bring with me, already on display, a proclamation from not the mayor, but the mayor on behalf of all of the city of Indianapolis, as we honor Central Library for its 100 years of service to our great city by proclaiming October 2017 as Central Library Month in the city of Indianapolis, and I ask all residents of our city to join me in this recognition and celebration. I had to remind Jackie, it's not just today, it's the whole month that we need to be celebrating. So let me step in for a moment on behalf of Councilor Oseley, even though I have no portfolio to do so. And the council, the City-County Council, the Indianapolis-Marion County City-County Council, made up of 25 members, has issued its own proclamation recognizing the 100th anniversary of the Indianapolis-Marion County Public Library. And I will be brief and just read that as it has indicated, Central Library has provided significant leadership in the area of community involvement in the education of all of our citizens, while maintaining the comfort and the respect associated with the collection of books and the information and the inspiration they contain. Therefore, be it proclaimed that the City-County Council of the City of Indianapolis and of Marion County, Indiana, does hereby recognize this library's centennial celebration, and that has been attested to by Monroe Gray, the leader of the council, Majority Caucus, Michael McQuillan, the leader of the council's Minority Caucus, and Vop Oseley, who is the counselor for this particular district. So congratulations to the Central Library on behalf of the council.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. Now we welcome to the podium Library Board Member, the distinguished Pat Payne.
Distinguished. Good morning. In prayerful acknowledgement of the mighty presence of our omnipresent Creator, the spirit and guidance of our ancestors, and the wisdom and sacrifices of our elders upon whose backs we stand, I bring you greetings as a proud member of the Indianapolis Public Library Board of Trustees. What a beautiful and blessed morning this is, and what an amazing month at the Indianapolis Public Library as we first gather to celebrate the 100th anniversary of this historical edifice and icon, which opened in 1917, while in the same month, in this very same building, welcoming the opening of the Center for Black Literature and Culture on October 21st, 2017, 100 years later. I am completely overwhelmed by the very thought of the concurrence of these two significant milestones. It's almost as if you can hear the whispers of this reality saying, "And the truth shall set you free." No matter the length of time or the manner in which it comes, the truth will always be revealed. Last week, Mike Williams and Nichelle Hayes and I were taping the WFYI No Limits call-in radio show, and it was just amazing to hear the stories from listeners who wanted to share their memories of the library and the deep impact it had had on their lives and the lives of their children. For me and my brother, it was Raw Memorial Library on 30th and Meridian. Come to find out that Raw Memorial Library was the premier library in a neighborhood and was first located in a drugstore at 30th and Illinois in the early 1900s. So now, as we come together to praise and honor the Central Library in all its centennial splendor and magnificence, I leave you with an excerpt from the profound masterpiece written by Baba Mari Evans in her tribute to libraries, written in 2002. And she says, "We reverence libraries, for they hold the past, contain the blueprints for our future, the impetus toward present possibility. A beleaguered society, when that society is chaotic, must rush first," I love this, "to defend its children, and then to secure its libraries. There comes a time when a need is met, a haven prepared, a library built, when the people gathered in reverence and revisit, for libraries are fortress and wooden stream, challenge and surcease, repositories of revolution and of respite, staunch, enduring. In them, we find the people's substance, their spirit, their brilliances and delusions, their visions and their truths. In the end, it is the people empowered who prevail, who are their own enlightenment, who secure inclusion, who are their own beneficent result." Baba Mari Evans, thank you so much, and please enjoy the entire day, the entire month.
Thank you, Dr. Payne. Got a couple more thank yous, and then I need to call Library Board President Dr. Watts forward. We've got a little work to do right here, ma'am. If you'll excuse me.
And I must, I think Madam C.J. Walker is in the house as well. Ma'am? There she is.
And Mr. Board President, I see another president in the house, President Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh, my word.
Throughout this month of celebration, we have worked very hard at Central Library to pull all of this together, and I need to thank two very special librarians that I have the honor of working with every day. Jackie Kelly and Amy Griffin have chaired the committee putting all of this together. Thank you both. Yes, it's time for something some of you have been waiting for. We spent a great deal of effort finding where a time capsule was hidden back in 1916 as the building was literally being built. We found it with great effort. Then, with more great effort, we excavated it. We didn't know what we'd find. We drilled a little hole inside it after we found it. We took a little peek. It looked good. We were happy. Today, Dr. Watts and I have the privilege of revealing to all of you that time capsule and its contents. Ready? Ta-da! It's a copper box with a bright tin lining that was very confusing to a little scope we looked in it because it literally looked like you were looking in a mirror. The thing that was on the top, we don't have a facility to properly display. We found a silk American flag with 48 stars on it, as befitting the day it was entombed in this container. We also found a pristine, brand new copy, even though it's 100 years old, of a James Whitcomb Riley book, including a fragment of a stanza that was never, ever published. So we have some awesome stuff that we found, coins, stamps, blueprints to the building, and all of it is on display in these cabinets. So I think that brings us to our conclusion. Jackie, did you want to say some words of closing?
Well, I just want to thank you all for being with us today because this is such a joyous moment. It's one of those times that marks a passage in a community's development and history. But all 100 birthday parties deserve cake, and we have birthday cake. I believe the birthday cake is up in the Sexton East Reading Room. We are welcoming you all to tour the building. As Mike said, look at the exhibits, come up and get a close look at the very well-preserved artifacts. We will be digitizing all of these things for posterity, and we are also conducting a pretty serious consideration of what do we put in the next time capsule so that people 100 years from now can have a moment of reflection as well. And you'll hear more about that in the months to come. So thanks for being with us. Thanks to the choir. Thanks to the musicians.
We've got one more musical performance, too.
And we have a piece to close out the day.
One more performance. We have another group of singers. We mentioned a couple of our 1917 folks who are with us. We also have a group of singers. The Freetown Village Singers. Are you ready, ladies? Oh, they need just a couple minutes.
Oh, they need a couple minutes. Oh, my. Well, let's see. Okay, I have a very important question. Does everybody here have a library card? I just want to make sure, because if you don't, or if it's expired, we can take care of that today. Oh, the mayor has his library card. All right. He knows the right thing to be doing. And among our guests here today is someone who also has a long history with this building, and I just saw her in the crowd. Laura Bramble, our most recent CEO. Thank you for coming today. Laura had the privilege of moving us back into this building, and I have to thank you for doing such a wonderful job of that. Many of you know that we left this building for a little while, and while we were gone, a lot of people did some important work to make sure it was set for the next 100 years. Somewhere in this room is an architect friend of ours, Lynn Molson. And Lynn, I saw him a little while ago, somewhere over here. Lynn was with the architecture firm that understood how to take this 100-year-old Paul Cray building, give it a new appendage, if you will, kind of a backdrop to show off this jewel, and also a chance to make sure that it was recognized. And so one of the awards that you see up here in the front of the room, thank you, Jackie, is the Roll McLaughlin Award, which Central Library received last week. This is the first time this award has ever been given, and it honors a very famous Indianapolis architect and historian, Roll McLaughlin. And the first time it's given is to Lynn Molson and this building for in recognition of what an important asset we have here. I think our Freetown Village singers are ready to finish off our day and to lead us to cake. Ladies.
trusting in the name of the Lord. We've come this far trusting in the name of the Lord. We've come this far trusting in the name of the Lord.
Thank you. Thank you, Freetown Village Singers. If we can have the choir stand up. Let's have a big round of applause for all of our fabulous musicians today.